have a daddy? Who's your daddy? I'll bet you do.
Now everything you say is documented.
Hello? Alright guys, so welcome back to Tired of Regular Stupid People podcast, episode 9. I'm joined here with my co-host, slash host, slash my boyfriend, Zach DLT, or DLT Gaming. New channel, sucks dick, don't subscribe, don't like his videos, don't watch the videos, don't comment on his videos, act like it doesn't exist. It's better that way. I guess, yeah, welcome back to Torspp.
So, that story I was talking about. So I went to Burger King like a little bit ago, a couple hours ago, and got a fucking double Whopper meal type shit. And we went through the drive-through, and I don't know if this dude was mentally ill or what. Like, he definitely had to at least been on drugs and or is on drugs now. But he was the fucking drive-through person, and he'd be sitting there talking, going like fucking what do you guys do you have an online order, you guys order? The name. He's like, okay, can you and by like the fucking seventh in a fucking row, I fucking literally was going yeah, I don't know if the dude can fucking he was sitting there doing the I'm not just stuttering through it. That was him saying all that. I
Probably on
bad
drugs or
for
some
it.
shit, you know?
Yeah.
Who fucking knows, yeah.
Whenever they went, we went to the window, we stopped at it, and you could see his teeth, black teeth and shit. You could tell he at least used to, and is off it now, fried his shit, or he's still frying his shit.
I get some orders at the BK.
So, whenever you go to a drive-through and there's two windows sitting there, which one is one, which one's two?
What do you mean?
The first window you pull to, that's the first window, right?
Yeah.
The fucking, the guy was sitting at the window, we stopped there, and he's like, go to the first window. You're the first window. What? He was
lost his
pointing down at the
fucking
second one. Yeah. He's like, can I just have my movie? Just fucking, order, burger.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking tweaker at Burger King.
I felt bad for laughing because I knew in my head he can't help it. He can't help it. He can't help it. God fucking damn it! I laughed. He heard me snicker.
Fuck that guy.
Probably
honestly, you shouldn't even be getting fucking tweaked out at your job like that. I hate when people are like that. I've dealt with people like that, at the BNS, or I probably shouldn't say that, but whatever, it doesn't matter. There's probably a million gas stations named that. But that one, that fucking, I went there one day to grab fucking whatever, and dude behind the counter was sitting there, and he's literally about half asleep, falling over onto the counter, he's drugged the fuck out. And it was to the point where that would be almost every week I'd go in there, I'd see that guy like that. He was an older Indian guy, and yeah, dude, he would look like he was just taking a fucking nap. Somebody could have robbed him if they really wanted to. They could have just reached right over, grabbed some shit, grabbed their money out the register, and walked right out. No one would have called the cops or cared because he's dead. It's yeah, bro, that's bad. That's really stupid, irresponsible, but whatever. Yeah, did I ever tell you the story? We'll probably never said it on the podcast, but I think I've told you this story. When I worked at the a tobacco shop in the past, I was closing the store, and I was closing with by myself. Actually, it was just me. Actually, no, there was a girl with me. She was closing with me, and this fucking crackhead ass motherfucker. Yeah, I don't think I've ever said it on the podcast. This fucking guy, he's this crackhead guy outside, shirtless and shit. And he never even came in or anything. He was just outside, chilling by the light pole, right underneath of it, so the light's shining on him. And it's 9:30 probably, so it's pitch black outside, And fucking this dude, yeah, he's outside tweaking. And I'm like, all right, well, he's not hurting nobody. So like he was outside at a certain point once we were like really getting ready to close. We had brought in everything from outside, getting ready to lock the doors and do your count and shit. And he's outside smacking his bill against the concrete, like under that light pole, pretty good distance away from the actual main building itself, but in the parking lot nonetheless, right? So we're all like, me and the girl are like, hey, you know, that's fucking insane. Hopefully he doesn't try to like rush us or some shit when we go to get picked up, you know, so our people come to pick us up from work, or we go to get in our car or whatever it may be. So, but we're thinking, not our business. This guy's just tweaking. We're not going to make a big fuss out of it and stay here any longer than we have to be. We're on the clock. We're not getting paid to fucking, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to go home. And so yeah, we're ready. We're doing our count. We do everything. We close the store. I go home. Right. The next day. Probably actually the Monday, because it was a weekend. It was like a Friday or something. I had the weekend off. I went back Monday. And I go back Monday, and like the fucking window for the store or whatever is like all broken in. Or like the door, actually, the main door to get in. It's all glass. But yeah, it's all shattered. Window, like there's like wood on one side of it where it was broken. I'm like, what the fuck? And I kind of already instantly had that vibe of like, oh, I know what happened here. And I asked, and they were like, yeah, no, that dude fucking came in here after you guys left, and ended up fucking like just kind of like breaking some shit, and like standing behind the counter and just standing there. He never like stole anything. Cops got in there, he was still just behind the counter, like sleeping type shit, hanging out. And they were, yeah, so it's just like, whoa. It's like, so, and it seems like I got the vibe that they were mad at us, like me and that girl, because we hadn't called the police. But it was like, at the same time, I had no idea this guy. For one, that's not my job. I'm not a security guard. I'm a fucking clerk or whatever.
Was posing no threat
I'm a
towards your
cashier
place.
at a store. Yeah, it's like I'm not. In retrospect, probably would have called the police, knowing what I knew. Yeah, like obviously, if this guy was like not in the future, yeah, won't make the same mistake, I guess. But yeah, in the moment, it was like it didn't really seem like my business to call the police on some dude tweaking out. It's kind of like how it is around here. You see people just like nodding off and fucking acting insane, like carrying a stick around, smacking trees and shit. It's like that's just how it is, you know. So especially in that downtown area where I worked at, I didn't really think it was out of the ordinary to see some tweaker dude come to a lit up parking lot and just start smacking some shit. It's like, yeah, no, that's what they do.
Yeah, he's probably looking for Marlboro.
Yeah, no, crackheads are fucking insane, man.
They're something else. They were horrible in fucking Colorado. You would see them
I know. Yeah.
I told you
I lived
about
in
that
Aurora,
one.
so it was real bad.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that
I can
was
only
real
imagine.
downtown shit, yeah.
Oh, so, it was like one where I was like home alone for the week or so, and went out to go take out the trash at Blondie, and there was this dude literally like yeah, there was like you know, it was like he like been like clawing at his face, like he had like a bunch of open scars on his face, and he literally had one leg hopping out of his car like, hey man, you got $1, you know, literally like any kind of money at all? I'm like, no. And he's like, what do you mean no? Like, you know, like shit like that. I'm like, I'm walking to the dumpster, I didn't think to bring my wallet with me, you know. And he's just like fine, like whatever. And like, you know, there's like this giant ass fucking wolf in his back seat, like fucking just like barking. I'm like, what the fuck? And like I honestly called the cops and shit. Oh yeah, no, he was like what was it? Like, oh, if you don't got any money, he's like, you got a cigarette? Like, no, don't smoke. It's like, oh man, that's whenever he fucked off. And I'm like, nah. I went up there and like told the maintenance man, like, hey, like, you know, there's someone like, you know, bumming out here. It's like, oh yeah, no, call the cops. Like, we're not dealing with that. I'm like, fine, fuck, I'm not fucking dealing. I gotta take out Blondie later on. I'm not waiting for him to stab me.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, people, especially homeless people like that use like, they try to intimidate people. That's really punkish. It's like, all right, man, really?
Yeah, like make like I didn't.
You little bitch.
Okay, it's not my fault. Like,
a lot of them, not to sound like not sensitive or rude or something, but a lot of them put themselves in those predicaments because it's just like drugs or alcohol a lot of the time.
There are those who do, you know, like just get a fucking rough hand and end up at that point, but then there's some who just give up and think they can live that way and prefer that way, honestly. Like, have you seen those fucking documentaries like Chicago? I don't even know if it's necessarily Chicago, but it's like this giant like cardboard town type shit. Like it's like literally
It's like Skid
stacked
Row,
up with
LA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like honestly
California.
prefer living out
It's
like
literally
this.
just
you
like
know,
miles and miles of tents just on the sidewalks, and
all
it's like a
fucking
city.
happy.
Yeah, it's like a
you know,
jungle.
sitting there smoking their shit out of their fucking tents. Like, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
prefer this. Fuck going
Yeah,
back.
I've seen tents like that where literally they have TVs in there, like fucking DVD players, internet. Motherfuckers have Starlink and shit. Like just enough money to go pay like however much money it costs to get Starlink. I don't even know.
What is Starlink?
Starlink is Elon Musk made an internet. Basically, it's like a satellite you can buy.
I thought that
you
was
can
free
pay,
for
like,
everyone.
Not yet. That's the plan. We're gonna get me and Elon personally. Their whole thing is that they want to basically send a satellite into space, I guess, is the whole thing, and like that is eventually gonna enable free internet for the entire world. That's the whole plan, right? Like the world needs free internet. Every country that doesn't have internet access right now, they're losing out on a lot of data and being able to like be literate in how we're moving forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, from my understanding, is that it costs money, and that's just like the little beta. I don't even know, but it's like you buy this little tiny satellite dish that you can plug in, and then you have internet if you pay so much money a month or something. There's a YouTuber I watch. His name's Will Survive, and he's like this dude that's like early 20s, and he's trying to live like off the grid in the mountains, kind of like not off the grid per se, but like in the mountains, like live off the land on some Minecraft shit, like. Yeah, and do it, kind of raw dog it, and like built his own house, like a cabin in the woods type shit, and he makes music, he's a rapper. So he, I sent you a song before, him and DJ Lucas had a song together, I sent you.
Okay.
But he fucking has Starlink, and that's like, he has it bolted into his like log cabin he built, and it's on the ceiling, so he can like upload his YouTube videos and shit. I'm like, oh, that's fucking baller, bro, like. Yeah, like it's a little satellite, like a white satellite dish that you plug, and he has like a power bank that has solar panels, like multiple solar panels on his roof, and then a power bank that stores all the electricity, and then he can plug shit into it. And he's got his Starlink plugged into it, so he's over here like in the mountains, fucking in the middle of nowhere, with internet, electricity. I'm like, oh, that's a baller, bro. He's got a music studio now in his little cabin he built. Yeah, bro's living life. But yeah, no.
Honestly, vibe.
Yeah, no, seriously, it does suck though, cause like it's the middle of winter. It's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Or
Especially
not
if
winter
satellite,
per se, but it's
bad
snowing
weather.
and shit. Yeah, he's been having to clear off the solar panels, and the fucking Starlink gets all fucked. Oh shit. But it's waterproof, so. Yeah, I could
That's
only
just all
imagine.
satellites. Like even if it's like
Yeah.
windy, you get fucked signal.
I've seen homeless people like that even that have like fucking, because he's homeless by choice, so his is a little different. But I have
Wouldn't
seen
even call
actual
that
homeless
homeless.
people. Well, I mean, I guess he built a house, but a lot of these homeless people have also built houses. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not
Like,
out of cardboard.
no, but like the thing they're living, like it's a tent with like a fucking like tunnel with like a tarp over like through the tunnel, so it's all like connected with structure. And like this shit will have like, I'm telling you, I'll have to find one. We'll put it in the video, like in the background while we're talking about all this homeless shit. But I've seen some of them, man, where literally it's like a fucking 5-room tent, like a giant 5-room tent. They got a fucking Foreman grill in there, like to cook, skillets. They got
I've seen those
TV,
big ass
fucking
tents before.
beanbag couch. Yeah, they got
Oh
a
my
beanbag
God.
couch, a fucking toilet in the corner. They got a hole dug for and shit, or some bullshit like that, like a disposable one they go dump. They got fucking a bagged shower they have in there with like a little area under it so it catches the water and they can fucking throw it away and it's not like ruining their floor. Motherfuckers be having rugs, lights, LED lights in their Xboxes, speakers. It's like, holy, y'all ain't homeless.
God.
Like, y'all fucking made it out the struggle, bro. Like, you're homeless, but you're not, you know? Like, that you're living just as good as that guy I was talking about, Will Survives. Like, you got an internet in here, a TV. Like, he don't even have a TV, you know? He's got a laptop, but it's like he's using that to edit his videos and like make the music and shit. But I mean, maybe he watches stuff. I don't fucking know all the intricate details of it. But yeah, like he's living just as good as these homeless people, or they're living just as good as he is. And it's like some of them. Obviously, there's a lot of them who don't. They're living in the fucking sewer and shit, man. Like that's I couldn't imagine that. But That's always been like the thing that I've always thought about. Like, imagine being homeless and like, yeah, like, honestly, that's one of the safest places you could go. You know what I mean? In a lot of instances, because it's away from you, anybody coming up to fucking stab you or rape you or fucking try to like steal from you in the middle of the night. You know, you're sleeping on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your imagination gets to you and shit. I'm sure when you're homeless, you're a lot less worried about mythical creatures and shit. You're actually like
drugs.
Yeah, you're probably ready to do anything at that point. Like, I'll eat a fucking rat down here if I have to, bro. Like, I'm starving. I'm fucking desperate. But yeah, like, I could imagine, you know, like, being homeless, going to sleep on some park bench is pretty intimidating, especially when there's a fucking bunch of other homeless people. Like, oh, look at that little boy. Or if you're a girl, it's like
everything you own is on you.
Wake up to some guy like rubbing your butt. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's some scary shit. No one around to help you. It's like 3:30 in the morning in the middle of a park in the middle of the night. It's like, whoa. But if you're in the sewer, I mean, there's a lot of places to tuck away and kind of hide out in the corner, plus you're away from the wind and all that. And you do have to deal with it, obviously, smelling like actual dog shit and probably get you sick. Yeah. E. coli and all that.
Oh yeah, you definitely catch some
shit particles.
Maybe you could find like a water purification part of it or something.
I was gonna say, I'm sure there's a room down there for maintenance, like a little closet or something. You could just go like chilling, but even that is probably so fucking gross, man. Like bugs and rats crawling around.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
You probably have to find
I couldn't have. Yeah, okay, so there was this big building that I had to walk by all the time when I worked at Taco Bell in the city I live in now, downtown. And every time it was kind of like when you would walk downtown or whatever, it was like you would go through this little stretch where it was just like nothing, right? Like it was just like kind of desolate area, barely any street lights. And then you see this factory building on the left, like in this big field. And the windows are all like broken out of it. And it's like completely pitch black. But sometimes you would see like a light or like a couple lights turned on in the building, and it's like probably like a 6-7 story big ass building, and it's brick and all the glass is shattered out the windows. It's really fucking creepy. No one goes there at all, but I'm I'm dead sure that there's homeless people that would go there, obviously. So it's fat fucking, I'm gonna go smoke crack there type shit. But yeah, no, it is very creepy. I used to be very afraid walking by there because they're like on the left side when you're walking, there would just be nothing but just like these tall grass like fucking fields after you'd get past them. I'm like, oh, this looks like where someone would grab you type shit and pull you in there. Like, oh man, it's like a Texas chainsaw looking ass building, like meat hooks hanging up in there type shit.
I'll literally sprint past that building.
I would walk by with like fucking, if I had a knife in my pocket, sometimes I'd carry a chain or a knife, or I got my gun, but at that time I didn't have a pistol or anything, a handgun. I just had the rifles, so I couldn't carry those. And there was literally right past that point, there was a bridge with like rushing water right underneath of it. It was so scary, dude. Yeah, I was
like set up for failure. Holy shit.
Like somebody's gonna fucking push me or like try to kill me. But they never did, and that was the scariest part.
But there's this like area down in Dayton. I don't even know if I took you down there or not whenever you came to Ohio, but it's like the same kind of vibe. It's like a bunch of old, broken into abandoned factories, and like you always hear shit like, oh yeah, no kids, like the whole area itself is fucking horrible. Like Dayton is our Detroit. Like you've been to Dayton, but not like it was like, it's the same kind of vibe like where the Greyhound station was, but a little bit more ran down. It's definitely where you would see some fucking dudes on drugs and shit, whatnot. I want to say there's been like a thing where someone's been killed in there or some shit, but I'm not too sure. Can't say that with confidence.
God damn. Dude, the creepiest thing to me, I've been seeing it, there's a, what is it, like, Nutty Putty Cave or some shit like that. There was a guy, man. You'll have to look up the picture and edit it in here. I know we're going to keep it light editing, but for certain things, for context, it's needed, I think. So edit that in. Also, I want you to see it for yourself as well. So, but this guy, he fucking somehow managed to like get down in this cave, and he accidentally took the wrong route, and it was a route that he had never taken or some shit like that, and it was called the Nutty Putty Cave. that stupid ass name, I know. And he managed to get himself stuck in like the fucking literally, bro, like the narrowest wedge. I'm talking like chest to back narrow. Like you couldn't slide down anymore. And guess what?
He died.
No, guess what? I guess how he was like got stuck.
Like
Upside down.
Like,
Head, bro, head to the earth, feet up in the air, bro.
Oh my god.
In the narrowest gap you can think of. The only way they were gonna be able to get him out is if they broke his legs from the knee down, and they never were able to do it because it would have caused him so much pain. He probably would have died, is what they were saying. So they never did it, and they literally, with permission from his family, bro, they filled that cave up with cement so nobody else would ever try to go down there, and he's still in there, like entombed in fucking concrete.
Oh my god.
They never pulled his body out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. I could not imagine.
Check Messenger. Just want to make sure you see this one in case you haven't. This is like the one I'm referencing in my mind when I'm telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm mad. Do you see how narrow that is? There's no way for you to get out of that. Like you can't. Your arms are to your side. Your head is in a fucking little thing. You can't push back. You can't have someone pull you out. You can't do anything. You're just in there for oh my dude.
Oh my god.
So that picture gives me anxiety. Anytime I see that picture, I'm like, oh my god. I think about that guy like just in that cave for fucking 27 hours before he died. Yeah, just like Jesus Christ. Because eventually the blood rushes to your head. You know what I'm saying? Kills you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but that is a terrible way to get stuck. Just knowing that at like a certain point, like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna get out of here. Like I can't pull myself out. I couldn't imagine the claustrophobia of that. I'm very like claustrophobic as it is. I couldn't go into. You'll never catch me cave exploring, dude. That sounds retarded. I'm not trying to shit on anyone that likes to do that, but personally, I don't have the.
I will never
the dimensions. Yeah, I don't have the body dimensions to even attempt it. For one, that's saving me from ever even tricking myself into thinking I could do it because my fat ass could never get into a hole that narrow. Secondly, my brain doesn't work like that. I'm not a thrill seeker, adrenaline rush person. I don't do well with adrenaline. Not to be a big bitch or anything, but I don't like roller coasters. I don't like going fast in cars. I don't like jumping off of things. I don't like heights. My body is like not built for that. I like to be on the ground, stable.
Oh yeah,
being on Earth.
Fucking heights.
Yeah, I don't like. Like,
God.
are you
I
a fan
cannot
of
do
like when
roller
someone
coasters
drives
either.
insanely fast in a car? Do you like that?
If it's safe, like if it's like like something.
When is that ever
safe?
safe?
Well, you like
you drove with that's like a professional driver. That's like
not even like professional. But, like,
they would
there's,
never crash.
Other cars around, or like taking a turn,
I'm
but
talking
just
about,
going
like. No. I'm not talking about like your sister or your mother like speeding up 10 miles per hour faster than the speed limit to get like somewhere quicker. I'm talking like
100 or so.
Like you've never done that, so it's hard to ask you. Imagine yourself doing it. I've been in cars with like retards who want to act cool, like sisters' boyfriends, friends, older friends who thought like they were cool and they're drinking and driving type shit, and they wanted to flex like, look how, like all of a sudden like trying to scare you. You know what I mean? You're like, slow down, bro, and they're like, no, fuck that, watch this.
Oh yeah, never. But I can
like,
only
pushing
if it's something like that. Yeah,
like,
I could not.
All of a sudden you're like going 40, and then all of a sudden now you're going 70. It's like, whoa, bro, come on, bro. Like, chill. They're like veering in and out of traffic and shit. That's what I'm saying. Some people love that shit. They like my stepdad and other people I've known friend-wise and things like that. I don't want to out anybody and drop names that don't want to be outed or name dropped, but certain people in my life I've known, just random people as well. People like that shit. They like to go fucking fast as fucking cars. They like when they get their first car, like, I want a Hellcat. I'm about to fucking like scat. You know what I'm saying?
For the full speedometer, I'm using the full speedometer.
I'm going off. Yeah, watch me fucking veering in and out of cars and going fucking 90 miles per hour. I could never, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm not built like that. Like, I don't get fucking satisfaction from doing that type of stuff. Like, some people do though, and I'm not trying to shit on them, but I never ends too well. Unless they're like a NASCAR driver. You know what I mean? It's not like gonna be
Yeah,
able
like,
to sit there and keep going
never
100
something.
miles per hour on a fucking highway and survive it every time. Eventually,
Yeah.
you're gonna get into a situation where it was even maybe it was out of your control. Maybe you are a really good driver, but some other car pulled out in front of you and they didn't even see you coming that quick. And like they
Not
just
you,
decided to
it's
like
someone
pull
else.
into that lane that you were going into because you were going 110 miles or 120 miles per hour, and that's so fucking fast that they weren't even expecting it. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you just killed a family of 4 or some shit in yourself. You know?
It's on you forever.
Yeah, not to Kid Cudi
Ferris
it, but
Bueller.
I feel like yeah, like literally Ferris Bueller, bro. Like literally,
Matthew
that's the
Broderick.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick. Government.
I
Star
remember whenever
power
it
and
was like a
being
whole
celebrity.
challenge to drive like you were in a fucking
Well, it pissed me
GTA
off
game.
'cause- correct me if I'm wrong, but and edit this in as well, just a brief clip of it. But I'm pretty sure he was in like a Lexus commercial some years later.
Oh
Which is
yeah, I
really
want to say
fucking
so.
So not it's so
Ill-tasted.
insensitive and sad that something a car company would even reach out to Matthew Broderick with an offer for like that, like, yo, you want to be in a fucking Lexus or like a Chrysler commercial or some shit. What? No, this guy fucking shouldn't be behind the wheel whatsoever. He should goddamn.
It's like getting fucking OJ for a golf glove commercial.
Yeah, I guess kind of like segueing away from like real life tragic shit. I guess this is kind of the format I can give this anecdotal, maybe like kind of just an idea, I guess. My concept of like an Arkham game beyond Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. I guess like the one after Arkham Knight. And you can help me like elaborate on it, because when we were thinking of it, you were also building on it and stuff. So there is your own ideas and shit in there. And you can correct me on names and anything I'm wrong on, because I'm not too fluent in Robins and Nightwings and like I know Batgirl's Oracle. That's Barbara Gordon. The Nightwing in the Arkham universe, that's Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson, yep.
And then Tim Drake, that's the current Robin. And then Jason Todd was the first Robin, but Joker kidnapped him, fucked his mind up. Pretty much the entire Rogues Gallery like mentally fucked his mind up. And then Harley Quinn gave him the nickname the Arkham Knight while he was in prison. And then that's when he had the idea to go kill Batman, because they printed that in his mind that Batman was a bad guy. And then he stole $500
The whole
million
thing was
from the Batcave.
he thought
formed
that
his own army, right? Well, I know he also hated Bruce because he left
he
him.
thought that
That's
he
what
abandoned
Joker
him.
told him.
That
He told him he
gave up.
switched.
Yeah.
He told Joker showed him a picture of Tim.
Mhm.
the new
showed
Robin.
him, or
And he was like, so
like
this isn't-
going towards
this
a
isn't
warehouse and it exploded type shit.
Cool.
Like no one can survive
Yeah.
that.
Who is the big bad bat? His name. Tell me.
Of course, sir. It's
But he was never in there.
Dawn got a new Robin, and he was like, he wouldn't do that. He was like, then who's this? And showed him a photo, and he was like,
Mhm.
no, it's not. He was
No.
like, yeah, that's. He's like, oh, I thought. Or he was like, I always thought. So that's not him with the pointy ears. So yeah, and Harley gave him the nickname the Arkham Knight. He got obviously out of that situation. Went to the Batcave, stole $500 million from Bruce, formed his little Arkham Knight bullshit army and all that shit with his militia, and that's the events of that. I know that much. Okay, so I know enough for that whole Arkham Knight, what would basically happen. So my idea, and like I said, feel free to join in. Basically, my idea for where the Arkham universe could go with a Batman game after Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad is, let's say, 5 years, because that's about the gap.
Hey, I'm gonna
between
have to go ahead and stop you right there. That's a little bit too.
So that's the gap between Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad was 5 years after. So let's say 5 years after. Yeah. So basically, the idea is it's Gotham City, or actually it starts off in Bloodhaven. You have Dick Grayson. He's just casual attire, walking around, whatever, and it's showing some cutscenes and stuff, and it's just some street little criminals or whatever, right? It's like, oh, what the fuck? And this is assuming Batman stays dead. We obviously kind of have an idea now that he's not going to stay dead, and the whole Justice League's alive. Spoiler alert. But we're gonna go off of the idea of what they were mainly trying to go with originally before they tried to save their own asses. Batman's dead in this universe, right? Okay, but you probably will be. They're probably gonna find some way to actually kill him off since Conroy's dead, unless they go the AI route. But let's assume he's dead. We're gonna be in Bloodhaven. It's Dick Grayson. He's walking around. We're seeing a cutscene with some street level goons doing their thing, whatever.
Let's say
Basically-
Anarchy Goons.
Yeah, Anarchy goons. That's actually and maybe it whatever he goes to his maybe Alfred would be alive. You want to say or dead? What would you say? Is he confirmed dead or not in Suicide Squad?
I have no idea, but let's say since he's already an old fuck, he's bit.
Okay, so he's gone. So what about Lucius?
Lucius, I didn't.
Is
Did
he
he
dead?
die at night?
I don't think he died.
Yeah, he locked himself in Wayne Towers.
And then in Suicide Squad, is
should
he
be
dead?
I have no idea.
Let's assume not,
Yeah.
because we
he's
haven't
cool.
heard anything about that. Yeah. Okay, so Lucius becomes the new Alfred to your Dick Grayson, who is now your playable protagonist. So you go to Lucius Tech or whatever, his big building. That's your new hub area, your new Batcave, essentially. This is where you're gonna go to do upgrades. This is where you're gonna go to swap Batsuits out. And the Batsuit system in this game, in my game, right, in our game, this Batman Arkham game that would take place, we'll call it Batman Arkham Legacy, okay? Or Batman Arkham Bloodlines, or something to that effect. Name up for debate, you know? It's kind of a gray slate. What was your idea?
Instead of
Sorry.
Arkham Bloodhaven.
No, because look, I like that, but I was going to say the whole game doesn't take place in
Arkham
Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven.
And back up into Gotham, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing would be you have because Lucius and all that would be in Gotham, but I was going to say you start off in Bloodhaven establishing that, hey, this
Ooh,
is
Arkham
this is
Nightfall.
Jason. Ooh, Nightfall, I like that. I like that, yeah. I like that a lot. Yeah, so Arkham Nightfall. It starts off in Bloodhaven just for a cinematic cutscene. It doesn't take place there, and it's not even playable. It's not an area you can even play in. But you get a cinematic of Nightwing getting the call. What the fuck? Like, comms busting in and out, you know? He's like, what the hell? Hasn't heard that in a really long time, you know? Thought that he'd never even hear that again. All of a sudden, you hear Kevin Conroy's Bruce Wayne. If you're hearing this, I'm dead, you know, like whatever. Obviously written a little bit more
fucking Harley Quinn cutscene.
yeah. He's like, if you're hearing this, I'm dead, and I need all members of the Bat family to come to this location. And he has
What
a
if
team.
he tricks you, evil
Maybe-
Batman, and like, oh yeah, no, Harley's like, you know, all you hear is Harley killing Batman, and that's like kind of like, you know, like remember how we saw that thing about old Harley?
Yeah.
He could, you know, like finish her off type shit for quote unquote killing Bruce, and that's when she explains all that.
All right, but this one, you said this takes 2 years after.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be old yet. Not yet. Anyway.
Ooh,
We
7.
could have it cut
Let's go
time.
7.
7. But anyway, listen. So you're in Bloodhaven. It's cinematic. Maybe it plays. Like I said, Bruce is trying to tap into these old comms that you haven't heard in forever. Maybe Lucius contacts you. He calls you on your phone. It's a cutscene. You're Dick Grayson. You see like a cinematic shot of him at his house. He's in bed with Barbara Gordon. Phone call. You know, he's like, it's Lucius. He's like, you need to come here now. Gets in his on his bike, drives to Gotham. All of a sudden, you're in Gotham. You know what I'm saying? You get to see what Gotham looks like now. It's all fucked up. It's all run down. People fucking running the streets, rampant. Penguin's back in Gotham. He left Metropolis. He's an arms dealer back in Gotham now. Fucking all the rogues gallery that is still alive. Zaz and all that shit. The serial killer. He's still running around. Calendar Man still fucking killing people. You get to Gotham. Lucius is there. He's like, come meet me at my place. You get there, you pull in, it's still a cutscene, you're talking to him, and he's like, you need to hear this. And he takes you down to the little Bat computer area that he had for Batman when it was set up there. And he plays it, and he's like, I didn't realize this was here, but this just got sent in, you know, like a couple days ago. And it's like a big hologram of Kevin Conroy's Batman. Maybe it's just Bruce Wayne in like his home attire, like a black sweater or whatever, just a fucking t-shirt. And it's Bruce Wayne talking to Barbara Gordon, Nightwing, whoever finds it that would take on the mantle that he would hope to still be alive and to even find this message, right? Lucius hopefully would be able to get in contact with somebody to be able to get to it, or they'd stumble upon it themselves and find it eventually. In this case, Lucius gets to Dick Grayson and tells him, hey, you need to fucking come find this. So the hologram is explaining, you know, I'm dead if you're hearing this. This is like an activation thing. If I was to be killed or anything happened to me, this would play and you guys would find this. You know, like we were talking about, you see a fucking batsuit pod like in the other game shoot up and you see your own fucking suit made. And obviously it's Batman's technology, Wayne Tech's type shit, so it's able to detect whether it's Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, so the suit would come up depending on who it was, right? And it wouldn't even be an option to have like Barbara Gordon playable or anything like that, so hers would never come up, but it would, in the story of it all, it's like, he doesn't know who would have found it, so it's just, and whoever it is, it scan your hand, and he scans it, and all of a sudden it's like, Dick detected, and it's like activated, and like it themes, the whole fucking room themes to his like color, his shit. You see like a motorcycle Batman was working on in his like retirement, his free time for Dick Grayson in the future, like sick ass bat cycle with a bunch of gadgets. It's really cool, fucking bat suit themed after like it's Batman's actual suit, but it's got like a little bit of that hint of blue in there with black, and fucking it's super high quality, just like Arkham Knight suit. I would say more like the one from the Kill the Justice League, like the what is it, Resurrected Batman or whatever. Rebirth, yeah. Rebirth Batman. That kind of like that, but even like more like Arkham Knight, I would say, actually, but with like the accents of blue and like Nightwing's aesthetic in there, but it still has the cowl with the pointed ears and the cape and everything else like that. And then like I was saying, Batman like engineered this suit specially for the next person to take on the mantle. This was a big deal to him, you know. It's important for someone to maintain his legacy, so it makes sense for him to spend a lot of time when he was done, say, because at the end of Arkham Knight he says to Alfred, you know, the city's safe, he saved Gotham, it's pretty much clean, which it wasn't. Like I said, Calendar Man and Zaz are still on the loose doing their thing. They were never captured.
Well, the Calendar Man was in lockup the whole time.
The Calendar Man is literally in the scene in Arkham Knight when Batman's house blows up and there's like that big news crowd. Calendar Man's in that crowd, off the top of his head, yeah. So Calendar Man is out on the run, yeah. So I mean, he's out killing people, and Man-Bat actually isn't captured or dead because on what you want to say, unless he was killed in Suicide Squad. But from my understanding is if you turned your console at the end of the Arkham Knight game, if you turned your console to Halloween and you started the game and you went back to GCPD lockup, he broke out of his cell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and
What?
that's if you
Didn't
only on
you at least cure him?
No, you captured him.
No. You just
Yeah, you just captured him from my understanding, and then he breaks back out. So it's kind of like left open that he's just kind of gone. Yeah, never to be seen. But so there's that. But what was I saying with that? Yeah, so the suit, Batman basically, like I said, this would be a big deal to him. Like he said, he thought Gotham at least was safe in his you know mindset. Gotham is the safest it's gonna be for a while probably. At least from like super criminals blowing up the city or releasing fear toxins, killing everybody. And so he probably would have had a lot more free time on his hands to just be Bruce Wayne and kind of chill and work on stuff, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like that kind of, maybe it shows like a montage of Bruce, not a montage per se, but like a cutscene flashback of him working on the stuff. That'd be kind of cool, like making the suit, making the fucking cycle or whatever, and incorporating. What did you say the Nightwing sticks were called?
A charisma.
What are they called?
Yeah, charisma sticks.
A charisma?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So incorporating those into the actual gauntlets, like the tops of fucking Nightwing's hands, like they could come out and extend, and then he would also have the slight, like the fucking blades on the side from the gauntlets, like the standard Batwing suit or Batman suit.
Yeah. Well, he could have those like darts, like how the Batman suit has, and like like in Gotham Knights, he can shoot those things out from the top also.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can have like projectiles that come out of the gauntlets, the charisma sticks, and as well as the spiky fucking side gauntlet like Batman has. And like I was gonna say,
Yeah.
playing into the projectiles, like you were saying, and the spiky gauntlet things, like those fucking claws basically on the side. I would want this game to be M-rated, obviously.
Oh
so
yeah, without
I
a
would
doubt.
want, when you're sitting there slicing up an enemy or punching them or breaking their bones, I would want it to kind of, be a little bloodier than the average Arkham game.
And he doesn't have that code to not kill either.
And that's what I was gonna say. That would play into the story majorly. In the hologram playing, when you see your suit come up and music starts playing, orchestral music. It's really intense, like really intense and shit. Like Dick Grayson's like tearing up and shit because he didn't, he's finding out that Batman just died and like, now he has to become like this moment, never being the sidekick and shit. Now he gets to be the Batman. And
I
shit,
never
and it's
really
like,
wanted to be Batman, but now
Yeah.
I guess I kind of have to.
and he's telling him like it's basically Batman being like, don't lose yourself, don't go out, don't be vengeful and kill and do all this shit. And then like Dick Grayson obviously suits up, gets on the bat cycle, and it's like him riding away, and it like shows his face like on the cycle, him fucking all looking all mad and shit. And like like how you're saying, it's like an inner monologue, and he's like, I never wanted to be Batman type shit.
Bro, what if it was like a Max
and he's like,
Payne
I'm not gonna fucking fail where he you know what I mean, I'm not gonna stop where he couldn't type shit or whatever. I'm gonna go all the way. I'm not pulling my punches. I'm gonna fucking end this shit once and for all. Like I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm gonna do what Bruce couldn't. And fucking like he understands that like letting them out every single time is the dumbest shit ever, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill them. And that's what the game would be like. You go around now and you get to go kill that Deadshot from Suicide Squad. You get to go kill Harley Quinn, King Shark. You get to go kill fucking Scarecrow, or not Scarecrow, sorry, Two-Face, the Riddler. Imagine actually like rolling up and it's
Batman
like you're
kill the Suicide
it's
Squad.
imagine like you kicking a fucking door to like an apartment complex and it's fucking Enigma
It's
sitting on
kind
a
of
couch.
like that
It's
one
"Ah,
scene.
ah," like all scared because you're like pulling up in all black, like scary as fuck with like a big ass with like a pole sticking out of your hand, like that big ass a charisma stick. You just have one of them out and you're walking, like you just bust in the fucking door and he's sitting on the like a chair crafting like a little bomb thing or something. And he's like, oh shit, like freaking out. You just walk in and start bashing his fucking face in and you kill him. And it like shows you walking away, like camera like on the floor from his perspective of where his head is, like looking up at you all crooked. And it shows you walking away, like blood dripping off the charisma stick and just like walking out the apartment door. Camera pans and shows Enigma's fucking head just like literally bashed into a pile like a piece of gum, like
Dude,
Johnny
it'd be
Clements
like
from
that
GTA
one
5.
scene from Arkham Knight where Joker fully takes over Batman, like what would happen if it did, where he goes through like the villain's hideout and literally guns them all fucking down.
That's
type
what I'm
shit.
saying. Like, it's
Kind of like
it's
Asylum, but
shit,
putting them
kinda.
down for sure. I
Yeah, like,
love
it's
that.
just the most badass shit. Like the whole plot of the game, instead like Arkham Origins is like you taking on the Rogues Gallery, the assassins that want to kill you. This game, you're going through the Rogues Gallery of all of the Arkham games like that are still alive and relevant and shit, and you're killing them off like for the vengeance of Batman. And each time you do it, it's like bloody, it's fucked. Like you're going through like, if let's say Poison Ivy, she's a little girl, like he goes in and fucking full on just like stabs her and kills her or some shit, like rips her fucking plants out, and she's like screaming, like throws a Molotov or something. I would want this to be like the most brutal version of Batman, like I said, going into like interrogating a fucking criminal and like spraying explosive gel in his fucking face, and the
In
dude's
his
like,
mouth.
are you gonna talk? And he's like, holy shit, oh, what the fuck? And he's like, you're fucking crazy. He's like, tells him what he wants, and he's like, all right. Like, throws the dude and just fucking detonates it and blows his head off.
Oh, bro, like imagine fucking sprays it down its throat, and it fucking like foams up and overflows.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and like I said, fucking, you get to go through and like that Floyd Lawton, the Black Deadshot from Suicide Squad, like he's all held up in Gotham somewhere. You get to go kill him. You get to go, and like each of them, Harley, all of them, like Harley fucking killed Batman. She was the one that pulled the trigger. Imagine you get to go kill her as fucking Dick Grayson Batman. Like stab her in her fucking, slit her throat with your fucking gauntlet. Those little spikes. It's like
He like repeats that same line back to her type shit. The one that she said right before she killed Bruce.
Aw, dude.
Dude, like it could be something along the lines of like a moral system where you could uphold Bruce's code, and like by the end of it, like if you never like you have an
He's, like,
option
leaned
to like
over her.
kill him. Yeah. You can either like like imagine like like Penguin, like you're sitting there with like a knife to his throat. It's like spare or finish type shit.
Yeah, that would be
And you
kind of
go
cool
through
too.
each time like
It's a morality system. Like it's like,
Mhm.
do you want to play on the line of what Batman would have wanted you? Because like I said, when you leave the like Lucius's Batcave and you're done hearing the
It's up to
hologram, the
you
last
to
thing that
uphold his
Batman's telling
legacy.
you, yeah, the last thing Batman really says to you is like, don't go and like kill in a vengeance. Don't be like, don't do anything I wouldn't do. You know.
I
And he's
used
like,
to be
the
vengeance.
Batman.
I used to be the
Bat. Yeah,
knight.
he's like, be brave, be bold.
But you need to
the
be
Batman.
more.
And he's
do
like,
what
don't
I
do anything
couldn't.
I wouldn't do. Don't be vengeful. And like you walk out, like I said, and it's kind of like he just has that like fuck that attitude. Like I'm gonna go fucking like burn this city down. I'm gonna go kill all these motherfuckers. Like oh man, dude. And he has like the money that Bruce left him. He has everything. The fucking Wayne.
He's like the
everything.
new heir of Wayne.
Yeah. And like.
Grayson and yeah.
And he's married to Barbara Gordon or whatever, like I said,
Oracle.
and they're sitting. Yeah, she's his oracle. They're sitting there like, and she's really, obviously really worried about him. So there's
Maybe
that
it's
like,
like she don't know. Like, oh, you see, like she thinks like he's like cheating type shit, but
Dude,
really
yeah,
he's
you
out
sneak
going
off
to be
in the middle
Batman.
of the night. Yeah, you sneak off in the middle of the night from your kid and her, like, you guys have a baby or some shit. You
You
sneak
like
off
go
from
back
Bloodhaven.
and like what is
Yeah,
like he
and
just
she's,
like
like,
sees
all,
like
like-
Batman
like,
like reports.
It's like
Oh.
Lucius taps into your comms while you're out on a mission, and he's like, "I tried to stop her, sir, but she's very insistent." And
Like-
all of a sudden, like you taps in. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, like, what are you like? Where are you? And he's like, "I have a lot to explain, but basically, like, I'll tell you everything. I promise." And she's like, "Well, you better like da 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 da." Like at least let me help you. And like she becomes like your oracle. You know what I mean? You get to communicate with her. It feels just like those Batman oracle. You know, it's like, oh shit, dude.
Like so imagine like Barbara. Like there's like a part like where he gets kidnapped or some shit, and it like Barbara like has to suit up and
She's
save
in the
him.
prey.
And-
That would be
And she
fucking
has like
sick.
she has a
Dude,
suit
Black
that like
Canary.
helps her use her legs again, like a
That's what I'm
robotic
saying,
like
that-
exo.
That's the reason why her and the Birds of Prey like ended up not like you know what I'm saying, like basically fucking ending the team or whatever was because of her accident, like her getting shot. So
that
like
was just the Joker. That was because of Batman and that.
Yeah,
Arkham
in the
version.
Arkham universe though, the reason why she's not in the Birds of Prey is because she was crippled. She was in the Birds of Prey apparently.
Yeah, well, even then, like, they use
that's how
her
it
as
was
technical
explained,
support in that aspect as well. Like, she's still workable for them.
Well,
but,
that's
like,
what I'm
no,
saying.
obviously
Imagine,
not
like,
Batwoman.
If she was to have, well, yeah, because she's crippled. That's what I'm saying. Imagine if she was, like, if she did have some, like, mechanical, advanced warfare type thing, like a spinal, which I'm
Turns
pretty
out
sure
she was doing that shit too. Ew.
Like, imagine if, fucking she pulls up and she's with the Birds of Prey, like a Black Canary or whatever, and like
Dude.
maybe even fucking what is it? Because isn't that
Harley.
Green Arrow's wife?
Oh, we have Black Canary.
Yeah, and
Black
imagine.
Canary, Huntress.
I was supposed to say, imagine if she pulls up with the Green Arrow, like type shit, and that like you finally get to see him, Oliver Queen, in the fucking Arkham universe. Because as far as we know, he's just a billionaire still. I'll wrap this up real quick so we can get back into the other shit. Because I'm taking too long. Sorry. Basically, what would happen is he would take over the air as Batman. He's vengeful. It's an M-rated game. You're going to spend the game going through killing all of his rogues galleries that are still alive in the Arkham universe. That includes the Suicide Squad from this iteration of the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, which would make a lot of people happy because they're getting a solo single player in the line of the Rocksteady Arkham universe Batman games that we've known to come and love. And you get to kill those motherfuckers that killed off our heroes, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that'd make a lot of people happy. Maybe you know what I'm saying, like it maybe fucking he finds out like, oh, this motherfucker pissed on the Flash. He like pisses on him.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But basically how I would have this game wrap up is he goes through, and like Zach said, even throwing in a morality system would be a fucking awesome idea where you can choose to fall in line with the Batman's code of like not killing the rogues gallery, or you can be like, I'm not gonna fucking fail where he did, and I'm gonna sit here and actually kill these people. I'm gonna fucking not pull my punches on this. They're all gonna die, and that would have its impacts on the story. So like Zach said, you would have an option when you're done with the boss fight with the Penguin. You hold him up or whatever off a rooftop. You have the option to drop him or throw him to the side and arrest him or whatever, and go take him to
Maybe like
GCPD
permanently
lockup.
cripple him or some shit.
Yeah, take him to GCPD lockup and fucking. It's like a permanent thing, like Zach said. Like maybe you slam him into some shit and like he's not walking, you know, which probably wouldn't end the Penguin, but it would fuck him for a long time probably until he was able to.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, like someone gets him out, he gets rejuvenated, whatever. But you get that option, you know, like arrest him and follow, and it has like a Batman symbol next to it, or like it has like the new Batman with the Nightwing mixed into its symbol as like this graceful, like I want to kill the motherfucker, the vengeful option. In this iteration of it, it just kind of ends with him either killing them all off or arresting them and then doing that. The ending would depend on kind of how you played the game, but let's say you went with the disgraceful ending. It would kind of end off with like you cleaning up Gotham and like all of that shit, but like the vengefulness of it kind of like gets to Dick Grayson a little bit, so you see this like kind of like war-torn version of him, like this PTSD side of him where it's kind of like, yeah, no, actually being like a vigilante at this point has kind of gotten to his head, especially like doing it that way, kind of being like a criminal. He's like, am I any
Maybe
better?
he gets thrown in jail.
Yeah, it's kind of like, am I any better than Joker or any of these guys? And like I see why Batman had this code kind of thing.
Yeah, like imagine if like how you were saying, like you would like show the Batman symbol and like the new, like what his symbol would be, like the morality system, like in the middle, like it like let's say like you start out like, you know, like at the beginning of the game you're neutral and or like, you know, rather just you're good. You start out as good, and there's like a blue bat in the middle, but like the more you progress and like do dirty things, that blue bat symbol will slowly fade into red and like turn into
like
that
yeah.
new symbol type shit.
It'd be cool too, like the more evil you are, the more like, because when you go into detective mode, you know how you can see their BPM,
It'll
like their heart
turn
rate,
red and shit.
yeah, like the more evil you are, the more feared you are amongst the criminals in Gotham. So when you're like
the more
fucking
panicked
gliding
and shit.
around and they're like, that's the Batman, like they see their fucking BPM shoot up to the point where they're like, literally they're about to have like a
where
panic
they're
attack,
already
like,
feared and
yeah,
shit.
they're
You
like
do get
like, looking around
advantages
all
in that
crazy and
sense.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're more careless. Yeah,
Like
the ones being
imagine
the
like
trunk.
he's inside of like a fucking like I don't know, like he's like on the docks or some shit, like in the middle, like swarmed by a bunch of people, and all of a sudden like he has like his hands behind his head, it's fucking raining dark type shit, and all of a sudden in the background
Presses
you
a
start
button on his
seeing
gauntlet.
explosions.
Yeah.
You just hear like tight like fucking like warthog type shit, and you just like see the car jump overhead, just like mowing down them like fucking zombies type
That's what
shit.
I'm saying. That shit would go so
Oh.
fucking hard. And as you now have Bruce Wayne's heir to his fortune, you're rich as fuck. You're a multi-billionaire. You're the richest man in Gotham. Maybe you have the influence now, and maybe you start up a new super prison.
Maybe
that super
Damien
prison-
is the heir, like he's running Wayne Tech or whatever, and he's like the Lucius type person that helps you out.
Oh, that would go hard. But I'm saying, like, imagine at the end with the fortune you have, like, a little percentage of it, like, you start a new prison where it's, like, it's Wayne funded, and it's not no Arkham Asylum, it's not the Black Gate, it's a real prison where, like, if it's for these people, like, these supervillain people, so it's, like, if you were to arrest them throughout your playthrough instead of doing the vengeful red bat symbol option where you're gonna kill them, that's where you would take them, is like an actual
It's like
prison.
fucking like the equivalent to like the Watchtower or something.
I was gonna say, maybe
where it's
we
like
don't
an
even-
underground bunker type.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say, we don't even
impossible.
really know. Like, maybe that's what Batman maybe did that before fucking he died. I mean, we never really get to see it.
Kind of like what he
after
had
died.
in the movie theaters type shit with the Joker patients. He already had kind of like a pretty advanced prison system going on.
Yeah, and especially with like him making Gotham safer and shit after his death. Nightfall Protocol and him becoming the Batman with the fear toxin, it would make sense for there to be some sort of prison like that opened up, at least with like, you know, in his honor or something, the Batman's honor, to have like, you know, something like that. If you don't agree, tell me why. Like, what would be better? Honestly, I'm not even trying to argue with you. So yeah, what would be a better story? Like, would you rather have it be, like Zach said, like a Damian Wayne thing,
Yeah, what would be your dream
Barbara
Arkham
Gordon? Would you
sequel?
rather be? Yeah, would you rather be Batwoman? You know,
Would you rather be
Personally,
Damian? Would you rather be Jason Todd and finish out
I think
his
Nightwing's
journey?
got the edge. I think that's like the Jason Todd is a good ass option too, but I think that Damian Wayne has that heart that Batman had, so it would be the perfect like.
He
You know
used
what
to
I
be
mean?
he used to be a detective, all of that also. Like
Yeah,
actual
and, like,
police detective.
It
whatnot.
gives him the heart of like, oh, he's not a killer, you know, like so it gives it that beautiful like, if you
Like
were to
that
go
oomph
that,
whenever you do.
Yeah,
that first, like,
exactly.
you're like
Yeah,
killing
yes,
that innocence
yeah.
of him.
bro, worded perfectly, exactly the oomph, yeah. When you first like, if you first like, let's say like you said, you have the red bat symbol, the blue, I like that, the blue bat symbol. I like how that's, you know, that would look really cool. If you did go the red bat symbol option, you decided I want to fucking kill this motherfucker, I'm gonna slit Zaz's throat, the Calendar Man's throat, Penguin's throat, whoever it is. It would actually have impact on the story. It'd feel like, holy shit, you just seen Dick Grayson, Nightwing, who you've seen
Anything
in these
like-
games before, slit this motherfucker's throat. And the Penguin is already Nightwing's villain, you know, or like one of
Yeah.
his guys that he liked.
Dude, like imagine
that would be nuts.
They adopt like a version of the Nemesis system, but like
Oh.
if you kill the people, that just makes everyone else put up higher defenses. Like, oh, that fucker's
Yeah.
coming. He's gonna
Like,
fucking kill me.
So a
Let's
wave,
fucking
like,
walls, barriers,
see
dip.
enemies, and like you're in detective mode, they're all blue because they're unarmed, right? You go down there, you get beat up by these guys because let's say it's like a lot of guys, and, you know, you get fucked up. Now, when you go back to that same area, you go to detective mode to look at the wave of enemies. Now they're all red. They have guns. They're now armed enemies. Now there's 8 armed enemies instead of 8 unarmed enemies. And then, like, let's say you lose again. Now they have armor. And you know those visors in Arkham Knight where they can see your sensor, your heat sensor, so you can't hide on the gargoyles if they scan you?
Oh yeah.
Maybe they get those. You know what I'm saying? So and maybe now there's snipers on the towers around you and shit. Like, it starts getting progressively harder if you're failing. If you're doing better, you know what I'm saying? You're fucking doing good. You know, you're breezing through the game. I think a nemesis system would be fucking awesome for a Batman game. We almost got that too. But I think that would be awesome for this game too, because the game that would have been in is the whole Batman Beyond Josh Keaton game that we would have gotten, which would have been sick. And if I don't know who plays Dick Grayson, you probably know, right? Maybe who plays Dick Grayson in the Arkham games?
Let's see real quick. Scott Porter.
Scott Porter. What's
Sounds
he doing
familiar.
nowadays? Scott Porter. What's he up to? Is he still doing DC shit or no?
Let's
Scott
see.
Porter does sound kind of familiar. Yeah, I don't know why. That honestly
What
sounds
is
like a
this
superhero
man
name,
known
like
for?
the alter ego, like the civilian like Clark Kent, Scott Porter, Peter Parker.
Using Minecraft story mode.
I mean, that's kind of a fall from grace, but hey, I mean, it's something. It's popular.
Using Speed Racer.
Oh, okay.
Was he the kid?
I'm not sure. I mean, James Gunn confirmed at this point that we are getting more Arkham games. That's a fact. Whether or not, what do you think what he meant by that? Do you think he means more Batman games, or do you think he means other Justice League members? Do you think we're getting a Justice League game, a Flash game, a Wonder Woman game? Obviously, we're getting a Wonder Woman game. He didn't mean that, but in the Arkham universe, it has to be in the Arkham universe because that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't
I feel
necessarily.
like
have
it's
to be
just
Batman.
more of it's just gonna be like attached to that universe itself. Hopefully, like I said, I keep seeing like they do something along the lines of they like soft reboot their shit, like, you know, they never really died, or like now time is starting from this point.
Superman, Justice League,
I
Flash,
personally
Suicide
would
Squad
love
2,
to see more
Batman.
of like a single character focused game, because it seems like for whatever reason, if it's a team game, it has to be live service. Only Guardians of the Galaxy has recognized that you don't. But I feel like obviously, like, the first one I'd want is Justice League. If they were able to make that a single player game to the level of Arkham Knight. But if they're gonna sit there and give it the Suicide Squad treatment, I'd honestly be like, don't really want to see that.
Yeah, I don't
but
blame
like, definitely flat. I want to see one that is a actual superheroed character or a superpowered character, not like all respect and whatnot. Batman, even fucking Spider-Man is
a vigilante.
Mostly, yeah.
They're vigilantes. They're not
buffed
superheroes.
up, but yeah, he's still using web gadgets and shit. But like the Flash, completely relied off his powers. Same thing with Superman, being able to fly around, heat vision, whatnot, be able to punch a fucker into the atmosphere. That would go fucking absolutely hard.
Actually feeling like a superhero, yeah.
Yeah.
Not somebody that would die if they got shot. Because even when you're Batman, you can get killed by a pretty street level thug if you get beat up.
Imagine how much of a power complex you would get, like fucking
it'd be fun.
Like really, like
get to live out a
walking
power
around
fantasy of
Superman,
being Superman.
Literally,
Yeah.
bullets just like bouncing off you.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point, obviously,
personally,
where you
that's
start using kryptonite bullets and whatnot, and you can't just sit there and soak it.
Yeah, they gotta balance it, but that's personally where I'm at. Is a Superman game would be my number one pick from any. I don't care if it's Rocksteady, it doesn't have to be. But if James Gunn is talking about doing more games in the Arkham universe, I want either a prequel for the Superman, or if they're gonna bring him back to life and continue him in the Arkham universe, do that and just give us a game with him where you get to be in Metropolis as Superman and live on in the Arkham universe. I'm assuming it's gonna be Rocksteady or Warner Brothers Montreal, because those are the only two that have actually worked in the Arkham universe and the games. So I'm gonna assume it's one of them. Give us a fucking Superman game, please. That's what I want personally. If we can't get a Superman game and we need more time to cook that up, I understand. Give us a Green Lantern game. That would be my second favorite. Obviously, Zach, I understand you want a Flash game. I want a Flash game. But Green Lantern
Would go hard too.
To be one of the coolest characters. I'm imagining. So Hogwarts Legacy, you have that spell book, and you can equip hella different spells. Imagine
constructs,
and there's a Hot Wheel like you pull up, and it's got like 10 different fucking things. And then you have a thing that's a spellbook type shit. It's not spellbook, but a construct menu. And you can pull it up really easily on the fly, and you can swap out like whatever constructs are in that 10 construct item wheel, at a time. So if I want rockets, and then spikes, a mace, a sword, a gun, whatever the fuck, I could have those. And then if I want to swap it out, like a spike, fucking grenade, fucking bazooka.
Kind of like a prototype where you can just like switch out like what you got in your hand. Yeah.
But you get a menu with even more options to swap in and out of that menu. Yeah. And that would go extremely hard, and you get to fly. And like, where's his main city? I know, like you said, Oa is his planet.
That's
but where's like on Earth?
So,
what would be like the
Coast City?
Coast City, because as I say, you need like an Earth like element to this, because it wouldn't be just like. I'm sure being able to fucking go from Oa to the Coast City would be the best alternative, but
that might be Hal Jordan's. I want to say John Stewart's from there also.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because whatever Green Lantern they choose to go with, that would make sense to have it being on Earth in the Arkham universe and shit. You have the weight of it having like human characters, like the weighted realistic element of it. Also, you get to see him go to Oa and like get the ring and all that. I really think a Green Lantern game, like full origin story, dude, it could be so fucking sick. Best case scenario as well, I guess. Like, we're better case scenario. Best case is we get a fucking Superman, Green Lantern, or Flash game, but better than getting another Suicide Squad. Yeah, better. Give us a Batman game. Anything other than that, please.
Oh yeah,
I think a lot of people would agree with me there.
Oh yeah. Oh, imagine like even like a fucking Martian Manhunter game type shit. That would go fucking insane.
Yeah, reach less of a crowd, so it probably wouldn't be done anytime soon. But once he's actually
definitely
get
not huge of a demand,
and they get him like live action and shit, I could see it happening. Yeah, for sure. They just need to get that appeal on him again. Bring
Well,
him
yeah,
into
like-
the DCU or whatever, the DCU, whatever the fuck. Get James Gunn, get him in a fucking Justice League movie after they get all their solos done. But with James Gunn not wanting to do like origin stories, I wonder if he would because he's gonna obviously have a big say on all the stuff DC. I wonder if like if they do an Arkham game, anything Green Lantern, Superman, if it'd even be an origin story game, it would probably be a fucking right up in the junk of it, just how Arkham was, where it's kind of like starting off. Like obviously you might get a prequel game by another studio, or maybe they'll do one down the road, but their story, like, yeah, no, you're fucking in Batman's looking like you've been in this shit.
Yeah, it seems like everything nowadays are like skipping the origin stories. Like after we've seen
been
Spider-Man
overdone.
like his uncle get killed 2
Yeah,
times, and like same thing
overdone.
with Batman. No one cares about it anymore, especially if movies nowadays, even if it is a character we've never seen, we just want to see.
In a video
him
game, though, I
be
think
his
that like a
character.
cutscene or something could be, you know, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
they
to
could
be
have like a
here's
mission.
how
Yeah.
Green Lantern isn't like the most popular character in the world, so it's like not every single person is aware of how he gets his like powers, you know. Maybe it'd be kind of for him especially like, you know, here's how he gets his ring, you know. Here's how he becomes a Green Lantern. And then for Superman, same kind of idea there. It's like people have a basic idea of it, but not an in-depth understanding. Maybe a little cutscene before the game starts, or like just when it, you know, you first started up.
Maybe that's your tutorial,
shows the
like going
little-
through events as a kid.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a cutscene when the game starts up of like the little pod or whatever getting shot to fucking Earth, you know, and like you landing in the little farm and those people taking you, and it's like, you know, fast forward all these years later, all of a sudden you're fucking flying around as Superman. It's like, whoa, shit, cool.
Yeah, like you like imagine like, you know, like kind of like Fallen Order, like you need to use your heat vision, and like you get like a flashback, and it's like the very first time you had to use, not even had to, just did use, like you're on a farm, all of a sudden like
Yeah, and you
press
can
LT.
upgrade all that shit just like you could Batman, like your heat vision, your frost breath, your flight speed, your fucking power, like your super punch. Everything
Kryptonite
that,
resistance.
yeah, kryptonite resistance would be ball. Subscribe to this channel and like the video, and comment down below your favorite DC superhero / villain, whatever you like more.
What game would you want to see?
And yeah, that's actually an even better question. What game would you want to see? Would you want, you know, any in the let's say Arkham universe, because that's what we're talking
Let's say, what's your dream Arkhamverse game?
Yeah, what's your dream
for it to
Arkham
come
verse
out?
game? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. See you later. Peace out.
I told you that the audio you're about to listen to is not from a human speaking, but a seal.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man.